All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome on into the ESA Rival Series quarterfinals matchup. I've only got one for you tonight, which is why we're starting a bit late. You've only got Orgless and Hostile Actions, but that should be a good one regardless. As per usual, I am Cherish, and joined with me is a new face here at ESA. So, nice big welcome to CDAPS. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Definitely excited to get into this tier 3 action, and I can't really think of a better time than now, getting right up into some really high octane playoff games.
Yeah. Um for sure. We've got probably one of the well, before they went through a series of roster changes, Orglis was one of the top teams for sure, and Hostile Actions has always kind of been lurking around really. Um so it will be definite some high octane and very hyped action. Just as I had mentioned before as well, we only have the one series tonight because the other team that had made it through to playoffs, Amnesty Gaming, disbanded. And so that gives Ancients Academy a free pass to tomorrow night's matchup against Seven Kings. The winner of this matchup will play Imperium as well. Definitely some very strong teams already moved on to the semifinals. And yeah, they will be looking to play, or well, they'll be moving on to play in the finals on Wednesday the 3rd. So it's really looking like a great matchup tonight to see who plays, I think, the top place team of Imperium.
Yeah,
So
both of these teams do like they've already grinded through the entire season. They've earned their spots here on playoff, and they do have to prove themselves to continue playing onto those higher seeded teams. Definitely could see a little bit of a underdog story coming out of either of them, depending on how they are going to pan out in this match that's about to unfold.
yeah, so as we're gonna slowly work our way towards that, we have Villa, Clubhouse, and Border as our three maps chosen tonight. Three maps that are very commonly seen so far this season in ESA. The fourth map along with that is usually Cafe, but yeah, these are just maps that everyone has become very comfortable on, very commonly played. Um, and as a result, it feels oftentimes like the meta, specifically, I'm thinking of this way on Villa, but it just feels like the meta just hasn't caught up yet to how fast and how commonly these maps are played. So when everyone kind of ran the same strats for Villa, um, as the map jumped in popularity, it really has started to struggle when the defense is running the same strats that everyone runs. So it'll uh it'll be interesting to see how Hostile Actions starting on defense here wants to really bring the switch up and try and get Orglis on the back foot on their map.
Yeah, Villa is one of those maps that could definitely sort of how the bands pan out can really be a gigantic determiner on how the entire map will play out. And you get some of those very specific bands, such as maybe getting a Kaid off the board, any of those anti-breaching operators, it's going to make attacking just that little bit extra easier. However, my favorite thing to see on Villa is just the abundance of impact tricking and all of those possibilities on the way to shut down easy entrances to site, because pretty much every single important wall for any of the sites does have that little bit of wood on top that you can go ahead and break open and toss those little Pokeball looking explosives straight in to destroy a thermite charge or even some X-Kairos pellets.
I think it's pretty interesting too because we've seen it as well on maps like Theme Park. Once teams started to, I guess, once even Ubisoft really started to see that impact tricking was coming out and being created, they started to add more of that to a lot of walls. Like I said on Theme Park, you notice a lot of those walls have that lip as well, and I feel like I know in the past they've talked about it where they're like, "Hey, we don't really like this," but it still just feels like they're pretty comfortable with it, really, and they've never done anything to change it up. So we'll have to we'll see the future of impact tricking, I guess. But for now, it's stuck around, and you're right, like you said, it is around and plentiful on every single wall. And the reason also we're not talking about operator bans really is this is just the standard for it nowadays.
Yeah, Maverick is just like how we were talking about with the impact tricking. It's the complete opposite. That is the counter to any sort of impact tricking. It's very difficult to take a good Maverick off the wall as soon as they're trying to get those two lines going and breaking away that reinforcement into a soft wall. What you want is you want the traditional hard breachers such as the Thermite and Hibana, because that is a little bit more easily countered as a defender. But we're going to be starting off right into the action, going straight over into Aviator Games Room. Definitely is a very strong site in its own regard, and typically is chosen a little bit more than the trophy statue counterpart on that second floor. And it seems like a little bit of a good amount of default operators. You see a Maestro here, going to be whipping that Aldo around with all the 81 bullets, as well as those two bulletproof cans, as well as your Jaeger Bandit combination with a Valkyrie for a little bit of intel, and a smoke here, bringing a shield for some more lines of sights to cut, as well as those toxic babe canisters that can spell disaster on your push if you are going to be running out of a little bit of time towards the end of a round.
So it should be pretty commonplace that the Maestro sees a lot of play. No surprising operators from either side, really. We're used to all 10 of these operators, these very commonly played operators.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
Yeah, there's just nothing really surprising about how this attack and defense is starting to pan out. It's a little interesting, a tiny bit, I'd say, that Wamai isn't seeing any play, but that's just some team's preference if they want to double up on the denial put by the Jaeger and the Wamai together. But yeah, we're not seeing that from Hostile Actions, as we're now getting to watch Cabal pushing in underneath through the kitchen to try and get some backside pressure, and this is why this is a big reasoning as to what is happening. Actually, I'll have to cut myself off there, as Hypers, the newest addition to Hostile Actions, subbing in for the playoffs, is felled for the first frag of our best of 3 tonight. Cabal, as I said, coming from downstairs, definitely not expecting that one. He's able to pick up the first frag.
Yeah, and with that, with the Jaeger being gone, that is all the roam presence of Hostile Actions taken off the board in one fell swoop. And now Orioles is going to have about 1 minute and 45 seconds left to play with and start getting in their map control. They're going to continue pushing over towards this 90 hallway as the drones are going to start bringing in Taka. He's most likely going to be trying to bring down that last air jab on those main stairs to cut any sort of flank if maybe Devils on the Valkyrie does decide to drop down. Maybe try to play for Nitro below. Any retake position will be all that more difficult. Also, Cabal will be utilizing the kit of the Ash, using that breaching round to take out the Maestro Camus. Pyrex is going to pick up a kill onto Devils, but is instantly refragged out by Ray Villo here, and it's all the way back down to a 3v4, and there's still a lot of round to be played.
Yeah, exactly that. It's 3-on-4. Obviously, this is really two of the operators you would want to be left up, the Maestro and the Smoke, but that was a huge find, at least by Ray. He found Boomski pushing in with the Diffuser, but now it's Cabal to push in. He could actually... He's focused solely on the Diffuser, which is interesting, as he's going to find the Smoke, but he could push through this Smoke's breach. At least JD's going to refrag and pick up the Ash. No more fragging for him as he was lighting things up. But now Frosty has pushed in with the IQ. You don't really see the Commando use as much anymore, but he has picked it up this time as now Baka is looking for the plant. The Maestro of Patriots can hear it, but he's going to get felled quickly, and Pyrex cleans up, or rather Pyrex got Patriots. JD was picked up by Frosty, and that will do it for our first round. And you had mentioned map control, and that is the big thing about some of these attack styles, is usually the defenses don't really have a lot of ways to fall back once the map is once the attack pushes in through master bedroom on Aviator Games.
Yeah, I think the main thing about Villa is exactly how it's structured. The basement floor isn't utilized very often, but so essentially you get stuck in a map that's almost 2 layers. You have your first floor and your second floor. First floor is sort of if you want any room presence, or if you're down onto your tertiary bomb site being kitchen, then you definitely have to play there. But most of the time, the 2 prominent sites being Statue and Aviator Games, both of those are all the way on the second floor. And especially when you bring somebody such as the Nomad that Baka has been bringing for Orgulus, there's only 3 staircases on this map that allow any sort of vertical rotations up from that first floor. If you put all 3 air jabs onto those stairways, there's not any way for the roamers. They're just fully isolated out, and they either have to tank the air jab and give up all that information of exactly where they are. There's a giant sound queue, and you're put into an invulnerable state. That's definitely not an ideal situation for you.
Yeah, definitely.
10 seconds left.
Definitely, the rotate options are very limited, especially retaking the upstairs. Everything can be just. There's no way other to put it, like you said. They can just be so easily controlled, specifically by a Nomad. So, see, oh no, Baka, the Nomad is almost about to go down, and there will be no more Nomad or no more air jabs. No rotation denial as JD finds the first frag on a very aggressive Vigil peek out the front door. Hostile Actions gets their first man count advantage, but it is quickly shut down. Ray falls. That's a huge find with the smoke going down. As Cabal had no clue that the mute was pushed up, but it doesn't matter. Patriots can't hit a single shot, and the Ash is getting very aggressive here, taking down both SAS members as he's waiting and watching patiently now for hypers as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see out of your Ash, taking that initial aggressive map control all the way in towards Study, as well as getting up 2 picks and evening out and trading out to that spawn peak. And now they're right back in the driver's seat, but the Ash will now fall at the hands of Hypers, who does a wonderful flank and is going to go into hightail all the way out to the other side of the map. Frosty would have been there waiting at the top of those main lobby stairs, but now JD is over towards Study, possibly going to try to get aggressive once again and swing, as the X-Kairos pellets have been heard on this wall. However, there is a Claymore that could stop him, as well as a Zofia laying in wake.
Yeah, the push is slowly being stalled out as the mute jammers have not been taken off the wall. As now JD has also rotated back alongside Hypers is 90. It's Devils though, picking up the first frag as we enter the last almost minute of the round. The IQ, no, that's Zofia, my bad, gonna push in, but JD and Pyrex trade out. It's just up to the Havana Boomski. He's gonna trade some shots with Hypers, neither of which will land, but he's got a minute all to himself here, and he's read by Devils, who's gonna take the head off the Havana. Nice shot from him as rounds are even out at 1 apiece now. A good find from Hostile Actions off a very early spawn peek by JD out the front door.
Yeah, I think the main problem with Orgulus' attack right there is they weren't quite able to capitalize on Cabal's initial 2 picks. It sort of stalled out right after that. Maybe they were just in a little bit of an initial shock coming out of that spawn peek onto Baka. They sort of had to watch their backs just that little bit extra, and that is something they most likely were not planning on having to do. But once that attack did stall, that's when JD, or I believe it was Devils on the dock, started really utilizing his kit. He was using that AGOG to take those long-range engagements and just absolutely popping heads whenever anybody popped into his crosshair.
Yeah, he did some big work
Attackers
that
need to
round.
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And yeah, he's just able to really do it and keep his team in this one early on. So far, it's really been just a 2-man show from Orgulus. It seems like it's Cabal and Pyrex there with 7 frags together, and then the rest of their team has 1 frag just on Frosty. Things are a little bit more even on Hostile Actions, but that's just because they got kind of swamped that first
seconds
round. He
remaining.
didn't really have a lot of frags, but
5 seconds left.
away from that, it's only round 3 now. Not really many kill totals
Attackers are
to
moving out to locate
be
a bomb and
talked about,
defuse
as JD is going to get aggressive on his spawn peak. I guess this is how Hostile Actions has decided they
Defender has
have
left
to
the
win this one
designated
out.
staging area.
He's not going to
Defender
find
is
anything as he's
exposed.
been detected and found out. He's going to look for it again, potentially, but no, everyone has spawned away from him. One on the front side and the rest over in the ruins, so no finding any frags for the Doc. The Master, the common spawn peeker. And right away, there's already some action coming out. Hypers is being forced back a good bit to these red stairs, as it is going to be Cabal once again, the primary entry to push forward. But it's Hypers finding the first frag, in fact, before he drops back down the red stairs. Frosty falling away as Hypers is healed back up to full by JD. And that is a great start once again for Hostile Actions.
Yeah, taking that initial pick now, it is denying a good amount of map control, and the rest of these teammates on Hostile Actions are just going to have, or Orgulus, pardon me, are going to have to continue to worry about their back. You heard the air jab going out as Baka does cut one rotation over towards red stairs, and Cabal is just going to keep on getting aggressive over towards site, break a little bit of barbed wire, and so now somebody does know his location, a little bit of pre-firing going over towards Astro, as the Bulls are trading, but none will connect. The rest of their teammates are going to be continuing to push on this backside as Boomski picks up a pick onto JD, and Pyrex will pick up one of his own onto Rivelo,
Bomb
as
located
now
by
it's
attackers.
down to a 4v3. However, a good amount of the players are lit, as Patriots is just going to take the shotgun here, that Mossberg, as well as Hypers really utilizing a good sneaky flank and a possible poor air jab placement over towards main lobby stairs, and his flank is now on.
Yeah, this could be a huge flank from Hypers. No one is ready and waiting for it, as Boomski and Pyrex are very low. Hypers is on the big flank, as now Pyrex must be clued into something. The Mute's not going to be able to hit anything with his SMG-11, as it's Hypers still lurking, not ready to pull the trigger. Baka is also tagged up a good bit, but now pinged out is Hypers. Patriots is trying to give him some assistance. Hypers has rotated still. And he's just being a nuisance at this point. He's not even really doing much of anything other than being a thorn in the side of Orgulus. As you can see, Boomski is lurking and not planting yet because he's permanently cautious. But he's still going to actually get the plant down. This is huge for Orgulus here, as they can now rotate back into post-plant, but they are still pretty low. Pyrex is going to find Hypers. Patriots right back onto Pyrex. Doesn't matter how low his HP is, headshots will always kill. Devils is also now on 1 HP, similarly, as Baka cleans up Patriots, and this is rough as Baka swings around, picks up the last frag onto the low HP Devils, and despite looking pretty bad there from Orgulus, or for Orgulus, they managed to pull it out and win out a huge round for themselves.
Yeah, once that plant went down, everybody was just able to retract all the way into that master bedroom, and that is a very difficult position to retake from if you're on the sides of Hostile Action. Having to aggressively peek those couple of doorways, or maybe even the breach, is not an advantageous position when you have superior guns on the attacking side. When you have a gunner such as Baka sitting there just waiting. You saw him pick up 2 kills on the Nomad there, his first 2 of the game, but they were quite impactful nonetheless.
Back to Trophy Study we go, and I wonder if we'll see that same impact from Baka in this one, as at least the frags got a bit more evened out this time around, as Orgulus all shared a piece of the pie last round. I think everyone but Cabal at least got 1, with Pyrex, or no, Baka snagged 2, I think, and Pyrex as well, actually. Forgot Frosty. Frosty died early on, so he did not get anything. But away from that,
10 seconds left.
the Ella has been picked up by Ray here. No smoke, I think,
5
is what he was
seconds to
playing
insertion.
last round. Or also no Doc.
Attacker's
So
objective is to
a
locate a
couple
bomb and defuse it.
swaps of operators here. Hyper over to the Valk. Devils picks up his Jaeger, as we're still keeping, you know, definitely. I know you've heard me joke about the change of the ACOG on Maestro being the big problem. Hold on. What happened there? What is going on? All of a sudden, Ray picks up
It's
the aggression
aggression.
for ball, and
Attackers recovered
Boomski
the
went down
diffuser.
somewhere.
Yeah, I think it might have been in some sort of run out or possibly some spawn peek coming out of Hypers on the Valk. We're taking that nice headshot with the MPX, removing the primary hard breach and only hard breach of Orglis' side in the form of Boomski on the Habana. And now they're at a 5v3. A full minute has already been killed, and so have two of their allies. And Orglis is just going to fall back and drone, try to get a lot more intel, and help Pyrex as he tries to continue pushing in towards Study Aviator area, trying to get into that games room. However, you guys might find somebody waiting on the stairway right here to
Bomb
his right, and that
located
is
by
the
attackers.
Jaeger. You can see his outline right there, and those signature earmuffs, and that's Devils just laying in wake, trying to be sneaky here. Actually, he's behind a wall, pardon me, but the Valkyram is now going to get found out by Pyrex as the rest of the drones continue up, and so will Frosty go to join Pyrex. It's going to be a little bit of a lifeline blast out, trying to get any sort of indicator if there's somebody over in Sandwich, and the first L of Gersmont mine will go off and stun away Pyrex to fall back down the stairs.
Slow-paced attack as there are only few attackers still up, just the three all in this red stairs plat area. Not sure exactly what that area is right there is called, but it's just right by the bench. They're all chilling out now as it's Baka has been tasked with the drone work for the group. Pyrex knows someone's going to be sitting back here behind the statue trying to look for his head. But it's Frosty to find the first frag. This could be bad should JD get pretty aggressive all of a sudden. Pyrex knows he's there. Oh, he sees the head too, and now he really knows JD's in a bad spot, and things have been evened out right away for Orglis here. Hostile action in a good spot, or a rough spot rather, as Baka takes down Devils, who downed him. And now Ray goes down. It's just up to Patriots on a sliver of HP, about 30 or so. And this has gone sideways now. Frosty, no, that is Pyrex is lurking and waiting and finds the head, rather just the body of Patriots. And that, wow, that is just great from the trio of Orglis here to make the round that was sideways for the longest time work out for themselves.
Yeah, and that is the first time that any of these teams have been able to win 2 in a row. It's been a little bit of a trading battle, but now Orglis is just taking out the lead, and they have already picked up 3 for this half and are looking to be in quite a comfortable situation. However, the Aviator Games bomb site has been unlocked for hostile actions to go back to, and that is where they have found their 1 win. We're going to see a very similar lineup coming out of all of these teams, as Hypers will be picking up the dock now. He's going to be the one taking these long-range engagements and probably patrolling over towards the 90 hallway, trying to deny any of that map control that Orglis is going to be trying to take over from that master side if they are going to repeat how they were successful the first time. The rest of the site does look to be default, as a bunch of barbed wire is going to be placed on the doors, and the drone work coming out of Pyrex and Frosty is really setting up one in sight and another one inside a study. Going to be seeing exactly how the rest of this hostile actions team does align up and see how that might be countered by their take. They might see who they have to take out on the roam clear, and JD might be going for that spawn peek once again as he is gravitating towards that front door that we saw him get that pick onto Baka, I believe, round 2.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb.
Yeah, he is ready and waiting. And if you're Orglis here, you really have to be expecting him to do this. And because of that, no one has spawned. But it's Hypers, regardless, to find the opening frag. He's found someone just peeking out wherever he was. I'm not even sure. I don't think it was Ruins. But, wow. Boomski again falls. Oh, no, it was Ruins. Wow. So, once again, Boomski's down early on. He has not been able to play the last 2 rounds, and Hypers has just found him both times. And that's a huge job from him. Good job on the substitutes part, as it's interesting. Boomski swapped to the Jackal, and there's it's good that he's not on the board anymore, but there's no hard breach from Orglis.
Yeah, it seems that they don't really feel the need to blast open any walls. They're content on just pushing straight in through the doorways, or just systematically eliminating everybody in their path, taking their gunfights here. They're most likely going to be getting into a little dance with the Doc here as he's over towards the Zulu blue benches area, and that's where Pyrex is going to continue to try pushing through. Right here as they peek out, he is in a very weird position, but he will be taken out nonetheless as Pyrex is able to get a nice flick. Over a good amount of his HP has been taken away. He's about on like 10-ish HP as Cabal's also going to pick up a kill onto Ray Villo, bringing it back onto the side of Orglis. However, the Jaeger's going to swing out and take out Frosty with a headshot. That's Devils making his impact known and bring it back down to a 3-3 scoreline. The JD on the Vigil is still off site, and really only the Mute is the last line of defense here for Hostile Actions, and Cabal is trying to make his way in on Study. Baka does seem to know that JD wants to flank up these red stairs, and that's where Pyrex is going to blast a lifeline and give an indicator that there is a player down there. Most likely Baka is going to be placing an air jab right there and try to stop worrying about it, as now Cabal is going to peek out and actually take out Devils with a great shot, destroying the prone angle player who's now going to have access into sight. And it's going to start trying to pinch out Patriots, and nope, he'll just take him right out for the triple kill and also get a whole lot of damage onto this Vigil, as his position is now known as the last hope of Hostile Actions. He has to clutch this in a 3v1 fashion, and Baka is placing down the diffuser. Cabal and Pyrex are both on not a whole lot of HP, but Cabal doesn't care as he picks up his 4K, and Orglis take round 5.
Huge 4-piece from Cabal too, and that is... Again, that is a huge throw from Hostile Actions. They are consistently in these even man counts or better, and just not able to convert it. They're just getting too aggressive, I think, in some parts, and in other parts, it's a big struggle for them. So we'll have to see how they want to do on this last trophy. Statue defense, very interesting that they opt for this. But, I mean, it is whatever they want to do, I guess. Hypers is back on the Valkyrie, now over to the Jaeger, and we see our first Mozzie on the last round of this defense half. Picked up by Patriots, and it's very interesting that we get a trophy statue just because it was lost so handily both times by Orglis. Hostile Actions just looks so in control in like the later stages of the round, even on the end of the attack. And also something to note, with these 4 attack rounds on the board, Orglis has set themselves up for a pretty solid half. So even if we see what has, I think, become the standard of Villa from what I've experienced, with the attack definitely faring a bit better.
5 seconds remaining.
They are definitely on par. Even if Hostile Actions manages to pull out their attack half, then Orglis still, unless Hostile Actions just does the most on their attack half, then Orglis is in a very solid spot to win this attack already and send us to Clubhouse with the map on their tally.
Yeah, I definitely think of Villa as more of a 3-3 map, which is definitely good on any defensive or attacking side, as Siege overall is a more defender-sided game. However, already hitting that 4... Oh wow, as Cabal is going to take another entry engagement and take out that Mozzie of Patriots and take the main advantage once again. And typically when Orglis has gotten this first pick, they've been able to ride the momentum and continue pushing into sight and gaining more and more control as they do so, and leave a little bit of a wake of destruction in their path as well. We're going to see Hypers going for a Nitro Cell down from below, trying to use his cams. However, it does not connect as Cabal has shifted locations. Now there are 2 players that are stacked up in 90. This Hyper is going to go ahead and just rotate all the way up Astro Stairs and try to help the rest of these anchors on site from this onslaught of attackers that are going to be pushing in. The JD is going to take out Cabal with a nice headshot. That's the Bandit picking up a kill and removing the threat of an Ash, who is definitely woken up and is quite a threat. However, it is off the board now, but Pyrex is still there, trying to get a refrag out of this situation. Is going to be stunning out with that lifeline launcher once again. All these defenders are on site holding these 2 doorways that these attackers do have to go in towards, because they do not have a hard breach. Once again, that does really tie their hands and forces them to not be able to take that master bedroom control and breach open that default wall. as now Devils will be throwing out the first of the 3 Toxic Babe canisters, locking down that sandwich doorway for about 10 seconds. As Frosty's going to fall down and take Hypers, who's trying on a rotate on Astro, pick up another one onto Devils. He's take 2 kills. Baka picks up one for his own, and it's all left up to JD, but Baka doesn't care as he's going to pick up another headshot, and Orgless wins half one at 5-1, which is definitely an impressive scoreline.
At that point, it almost makes it look like the second Aviator Games attack, or rather defense, was a fluke from Orgless, less than, great defense from Hostile Actions. They just looked so out of it, really, on these trophy statue defenses. So it's so interesting that they went for a second time, as this will be interesting. Frosty locked into a Warden pick, as Pyrex is going to be the one to have to swap off to the Lamai. So we'll see a Warden without a Ying on the board, and that is something that Hostile Actions knows that Operator is locked in here. But yeah, I mean, even without the hard breach, usually a big part of the map control, specifically on Trophy Statue, is you take it from Aviator Games and from that 90 position, and you push on in to the red stairs and kind of lurk there for a little bit while your hard breach duo gets bedroom and bathroom control. But without the hard breach, I mean, they didn't really have that, so it was up to the IQ of Frosty to push up through Astronomy, and because of that, I mean, you saw it worked wonders. Him and Baka both were able to be enabled, or both were enabled there, and were able to push forward very aggressively. So very nice job on that attack, as now I didn't even realize that Warden has a shield, but oh well, away from that, I mean, this is a very aggressive upstairs hold from Orgless. There's a lot of castles and shields up there. They're ready to hold fast and hold firm, as we've gone to Dining Kitchen first, which I think is pretty interesting, but also not far from what has become common, I guess, on, like you said, on the 3-3 now map that Villa kind of has shifted over to.
Yeah, Kitchen is definitely a site that you have to play in a very particular way. You need that vertical control for as long as possible, and that's what Orgless is going to be trying to hold on to. However, Hyper's going to get the opening pick onto Boomski, and he'll pick up another one onto Cabal as he picks up his double kill. That's the Mute Mozzie patented combination, falling at the hands of the Ashe, who only traded about 75% of her health for 2 of the defenders. I'd say that's a pretty even and advantageous position for Hostile Actions to be in. However, they do have to peel away the layers of all these defenders that are upstairs. That's Baka, Pyrex, and actually I believe Pyrex is back down in Kitchen, but that's Frosty and Baka up there, and they're going to be trying to just stop all these players. Actually, Baka has fallen all the way back down to site, and so is Frosty, so my point is completely mute. But as this sort of the Home Depot reconstruction work on this top floor is going to be going down, it's going to be very hard for any of these remaining defenders to feel safe and play in any powerful positions on site. And with JD already breaking on in towards the plates area, they're going to start feeling the pressure of Hostile Actions start to constrict their movements.
Yeah, this attack is starting to get pretty oppressive at this point. They're slowly constricting what remains of the defense as Ray gets to work upstairs, like you said, and a nice shot from Hypers confirms his triple. He's looking for more. At least Baka's going to stop Devils up above from pushing any further. The castle doing some work, what he can, as he's doing more work now. He might have retaken... No, he's just peeking upstairs, but it doesn't matter. JD has picked up one. Frosty's on the flank. Hypers is looking for this one. He's going to just see the gun barrel there of JD, but not able to find it is Patriots, who goes down as well to Baka. This is a huge retake. Hypers is lurking. He's got 4, but not 5. Frosty able to pick that one up, and Orgless goes on to match point with a little bit of BM to boot. Even though Hypers really wanted that one clearly, it is all in favor of Orgless. So
Yeah, Baka on the castle is looking a little bit like Canadian with all those gunfights he was taking and winning with that UMP, just picking heads and continuously stopping the onslaught of the hostile attackers that were just continuously throwing themselves on into sight. And that's when the Warden just came in to clean up shop. And at the end of all the trading, he was the last one alive. And now Orgulus is on to match point. It's going to be have to be a near perfect run coming out of Hostile Actions if they want to keep this map hope alive, as they will have to win 5 in a row just to force overtime. And definitely, if you're in the side of Orgulus, you're going to want to finish this one as quickly as possible and try to carry over any momentum that you have built over on into Clubhouse, as now the holes will be swapped over, as Baka is going to elect to take the Ella here,
Defenders,
one of those
protect your bombs
high-power
from being
fragging
used by
operators that can just
attackers.
fly all the way around the map. But you still have Cabal, who was the Ashe player, playing a more supportive role on the castle, which is a little bit interesting to me.
Yeah, interesting that Cabal has been the one to pick that up, and oh boy, here it is. It's the castle setup. It is the
Bomb
yeah, it
located
is
by
just the
attackers.
lockdown setup. It's interesting that Pyrex I don't think is going to be the one playing it. It's Baka most likely, and I don't know if he has a shotgun or not.
5 seconds left before insertion.
But he is, yeah, he's going to be
Attackers are
the
heading
one
out to
holding
defuse a
firm.
bomb.
It's interesting that he doesn't have the rotate out through study or through trophy itself. Usually we do see that, as he instead has opted for the Scorpion pretty interestingly as well. So I don't know. Usually lately, if that setup has been used, we see the Wamai in that closet locking down with the permanent discs coming up until like that last minute of the round. Just because Wamai has been, it's really been discovered at this point that Wamai's strength, obviously, well, it's obvious that his strength grows as the round goes on. Someone, oh, Hypers again. Well, doesn't matter, as he has found another frag, as he makes me stop my statement once again. Hopefully he's not gonna find anything else. There's no more action, but yeah, the whole thing about
Bomb located by
well,
attackers.
whatever. I'm not even gonna try and mention it. Cabal finds JD, and yeah, there is just constant action whenever I want to try and explain something. As now Cabal just when I'm gonna trade it over. Oh, Devils finds Cabal, and another frag from Boomski playing some bullet holes like a little rat. But oh, looking on the flank, Hypers is ready to go. Boomski has no clue, neither does Pyrex. But this wire is so in favor. He's gonna rotate once that Elamine goes off. Both him and Pyrex fall over, and that is good at least
Attackers recovered
for
the
the
diffuser.
attack, because now, should Ray want to, he can rotate a little bit forward and push aggressively up, because the defenders have left that position now. But it is still a 3-on-3 with Hypers and Patriots really low.
Yeah, Orgulus definitely does have the health advantage here. Some more health is going to go off as the Scorpion of Baka is going to take away a couple P shots here, but the headshot's going to find him. As he picks up 1 and picks up 2, he's going to start swinging in for his 3rd. This Baka definitely does seem to be alive, and he will find it and take the round for Orgulus, as well as the map.
I mean, regardless of what work Hypers did, it seems like the rest of Hostile Actions was not really on the same page as him. And they were able to just really roll this one. Obviously, not even just by the scoreline. I mean, you can see 10, 11, 9. Even Frosty was above even with 6 and 4. But the rest of Hostile Actions just didn't have anyone to even compare to the second or even to Frosty at 6 and 4. The highest fragger on Hostile Actions after Hypers is 9 was 4. So they were quiet on the guns all tonight.
Yeah, Orgulus may not have an org to back them, but they do seem like quite an organized stack of players in their own rights. as they did sort of win in a commanding way on Villa. They're going to be looking to try to continue that as we go on over to Clubhouse. That first map was an absolute treat to feast your eyes upon, and just the amount of frags and the high octane energy that we saw coming out of Orgulus, just continuously taking those first engagements and continuing to just take the map control as quickly as possible and just feeling hot on their guns. They just, at the end of the day, they won more gunfights, and that won them the map.
Yeah, there is really no saying it other than that. I mean, if you can kill people, it obviously works out better for you. So we'll see. Like you mentioned, they wanted to end that one fast. 7-1 was the scoreline, and we'll have to see if they can carry their momentum over to Hostile Actions map of Clubhouse, and if they can end that one quickly as well. But we'll be seeing Clubhouse after a short break, so stick around and join us for map 2 after that. All right, welcome back, everyone. As now we are jumping into Clubhouse here. If you're just joining us, I'm Cherish. With me is CDAPS, and we just went through a speed run of Rainbow Six Siege, a 7-1 smashing on Villa by Orglis, and they're looking forward to trying to carry that over to Clubhouse, I think.
Yeah, we do have to say that Villa was Orglis's map pick, and now we're going to be going over the Hostile Actions choice of Clubhouse. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more prepared on that map, as typically if you're going to pick a map in a best of 3, you better hope that you're prepared for it and you're definitely comfortable on it in its own right. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more of a close game, a little bit more back and forth action as opposed to the a little bit one-sided affair that we witnessed last map. As Clubhouse is one of those maps that Villa we talked about it, we touched on it briefly, that it is more of it's a 3-3 map, maybe leaning a little bit more towards the attacker-sided, depending on how both teams decide to play it. But as you go towards Clubhouse, it's definitely hard to say that it is attacker-sided. Definitely leans a little bit more towards the defender's favor, and it is hard to get into those bomb sites as there are 3 very good options.
Yeah. So with Orglis starting on the defense too, I mean, coming off really solid attack half on Villa, they won 5-1. Like you said, usually you do expect it to be very, very even on Villa, if not leaning towards the attack. And for them to come out 5-1, they just came out winging, nothing held back. And another thing to note too is out of those 6 attacking rounds, out of actually all 8 around those rounds, Orglis started down a man on 6 of them, and they won 7-1. So they did great work there to try and help themselves out, as this is a little bit interesting. I assume this is to give Hostile Actions a little opening for themselves, as the Maverick has made it through ban phase. And
yeah, the Maverick being brought into Clubhouse does sort of completely redefine how you have to play some of these sites. It makes getting those exterior walls on both gym bedroom as well as CCTV cache room just so much easier, as opposed to you don't have to worry about any bandit tricking, you don't have to worry about any mute juggling or K tricking. Any of those anti-breaching measures are just null and void as soon as a Maverick gets brought out, as well as having the Jackal off the board is going to let these defenders roam just a whole lot more. Jackal is one of those operators that can just be absolutely devastating to anybody that wants to play off-site and maybe get any sort of late flanking. That's what Hostile Action is going to be trying to do, or that's what Orglis is now going to be trying to do, because that Jackal is off the board. It's going to be just so much easier without that Spanish operator constantly pinging out your location wherever you go. You see what I see, right?
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I see a Tachanka pick on the side of Pyrex as he's in the full unicorn
he's got
gear.
the Rainbow is Magic one too.
Ooh.
Oh, this is all right. This is he's gonna spawn peek. He's gonna spawn peek with it. He's gonna go on the bed. He's gonna spawn peek. Oh, this
Pyrex.
is just VM.
Ooh. This could be quite an exhilarating start to this round, as he will be ripping open the barricade and looking over towards that dirt tunnel as he sets up his turret here. That bulletproof glass in front of him is going to be protecting him from a couple of bullets, as well as having that giant mounted LMG ready and willing to go. Could spell disaster for any of these attackers if they choose to spawn over in that location. It does seem as if one is going over here, as Cabal's also going to start off the aggression here, spawn peeking out Pipers here on the alibi, and that's the Ash getting taken off the board. Ray is over here still waiting to be spawn peeked potentially, as he's just going to get on his drone. He does not have any idea that there is a player. He's actually just going to start mavericking away on this wall, and he's in a safe location. He hasn't peeked out for Pyrex to take him, but he will take out Devils as the sledge peeks, and the Rainbow Tachanka takes his spot on the throne. and that's why he's known as the Lord over Ray Villo has gotten away from him, and he's pushing all the way down in dirt. After this intel, they most likely know that 2 players are off site, and if they go quickly, it is a 3v3 if you do the quick little math. Both Boomski and Cabal have taken a good amount of damage here, but so has JD on the side of Hostile Actions. And he will now have a goo mine blasted straight into his foot, and that's going to alert any of these waiting defenders that there is somebody pushing blue, as now Boomski will take out Ray Villos from behind, and it's going to be an absolute slaughter as both Frosty and Cabal take a flawless round for Orglis. Wow. That was a lot to process.
I have so I don't speak French, so I have no clue what Hypers just said, but basically I do know MDR in French is basically their form of LOL, so it's I guess Pyrex is Canadian, which is cool to see, but oh wait. Oh my god, they're both just French Canadian rosters. Oh.
Attackers need to
Note
locate
to
and defuse
self,
the bomb.
never subbing with Devils. He sucks.
He was the one that fell at the hand of the Lord here. As we actually saw a really nice flick shot come out of that turret. And that's not typically something you would expect. Most of the time when you think of a Tachanka spawn peek, you're like, okay, you're going to hold the angle and somebody's just going to walk into it. He flicked about half of his screen right onto the head of the sledge. It was just absolutely decapitated by that mounted LMG. And now Orglis does continue their momentum here, as not a single hostile actions attacker was able to find a kill in that first round. We're going to see a little bit of an interesting strat coming out, because there's a whole lot of alibi prismas, and there's a clash guarding off garage.
Yeah, at this point, this is really just... I think there's no way around it other than this is Orglis just playing with their food. They are really trying to just get as aggressive as possible. Even Boomski's prepped a run out. Hypers has him ready and watched on drone. Oh, just missing the head of the Valkyrie now. He's not going to be able to find this one for himself, as JD's going to get aggressive on the other side of things. Not find the Valkyrie just yet. Boomski's forced back a good bit, as Hypers is going to cause him to force himself back up the stairs. Once again, still Cabal and Baka are getting very aggressive on Ray here. And thankfully for Ray's sake, Cabal's not going to get aggressive outside just yet. The air jab does go off though. And shot from behind actually. A nice find by JD, as one of the aggressive pairs is going to fall. Baka is still left up at least, but now Frosty has taken his spot with the M870. Okay, well, at least Pyrex is playing the same game we're playing. Hypers goes down, but getting aggressive. No, the M870 cannot land a shot. JD picks up his second as we get towards the last half, the latter half of this round.
And now we're going to see why Maverick is so powerful on any of these sites on Clubhouse, as he's just going to be repelling in a very safe way, and he fully removes that reinforcement with ease at the hands of his breaching torch. Now all they need is a soft breacher such as Devil or JD to come over and smack that wooden wall, and that's an easy entrance into sight. And they also will be able to isolate out Baka, who's playing over towards garage rafters with that clash shield. He is locking down that area quite effectively. However, if Hostile Actions chooses to do so, they can just bypass him, as right now he's just sort of acting like a mobile drone as a defender. He can't really be shot up here, but as Patriots does get on the rappel here, he does take a few shots at the hand of one of the players playing over towards that cash room door. But with the entrance into sight, time is slowly dwindling down, and there's going to have to be a little bit aggression coming out of Hostile Actions if they want to take this site here, as one grenade will go out. But Boomski's going to drop the Boomski onto Devils at the hands of the C4. However, JD does seem to know that there's a player downstairs, but the timing here as Boomski picks up one and Pyrex picks up his double kill. Baka's going to do a little bit of a bikini body strat, whip out that SMG pistol, and take another round for Orglis.
Okay. Orglis won that one as well when, once again, they start in a bigger deficit this time, down 3v5, and Hostile Actions just looks like they are running like chickens with their heads cut off, not able to push anything together. They're getting picked apart systematically and just absolutely so easily handled so far by Orglis, as Frosty's gonna eat the 6th pick for himself, so the rest of his team can't find anything. Once again, Baka sticks the clash, and I mean, there is no real way to put it here. I think is that Orglis is just playing with their food at this point. They are really they have allowed just 2 kills in 2 rounds. Obviously, one of those was the flawless round, but JD only picked up 2 last round before Orglis snapped the jaws shut, really. And they are just looking so clean over this 2-map set so far.
Yeah, I do believe that this is Orglis' 8th round in a row that they've won. I do believe they won 6 in a row on Villa, and now they've continued this over into Clubhouse, what we talked about, that momentum just being so impactful and such a powerful tool that Orglis is continuing to utilize. They're swinging with their chest, and they're finding heads at the end of their crosshairs, as well as Cabal is going to be utilizing a punch hole with the revolver, trying to see if anybody's going to be unfortunate enough to spawn over towards that western spawn. However, he will not bear fruit on this engagement, as nobody is over in that area. Ravelos is going to be now have to be a little bit more precise and a little bit more skillful in his Maverick tricking, but Boomski will fall at the hands of Hypers, but he's instantly refragged at the hands of the Cave, and that is Pyrex picking up who has been the top frag for Hostile Actions in the form of Hypers, as well as the entry frag of the Ash.
Yeah, that is, you're right. In Villa, the rest of Hostile Actions had 12 kills, while Hypers had 9. So to be 3, to have just such a unequal comparison of frags, 4 people having 12 kills, whereas 1 has 9. I mean, that is just, it just goes to show the work that Hypers has put in on Hostile Actions on Villa, and obviously he's not seeing the same success so far on Clubhouse. He's 0-3. He's really struggling here, as is the rest of his new team that he's practicing with here for playoffs. But already Ray is going to get to work Maverick tricking away the gym bedroom wall. He's got just 2 tanks left, I think just enough. Should he move quickly enough? But I don't know if he is actually. I think he's got it. Should he move faster a bit on the top? But getting aggressive is the Rook. That is a huge find as well for Frosty, picking up Devils, as it is Cabal still looking for peaks here, looking for heads. Oh, he's running no attachments on the 416, as Ray is just getting peppered from behind by the 9mm of Cabal, and this is just so obnoxious from Orglis, really. There's no way around it.
Yeah, they still have so much map control, and there's only 45 seconds left for these attackers to work with, as well as the diffuser being dropped outside on the balcony. However, JD's just going to fly his way right on into sight and might be able to find anybody just with their backs turned. There is the Jaeger over right underneath gym bedroom window, but Cabal is going to pick up a kill as Frosty jumps out and picks up another one with his iron sight. However, JD's going to be able to find one of Pyrex, but the clash is too strong as Baka picks up a kill with the SMG once again.
So at this rate, I have no clue what Hypers said. That's my only problem. I have one single problem with casting with casting French Canadian players, and it's that I never have any clue what they're saying. But away from that, do you think at this rate we see a bar stock defense come out from Orglis, or do you think that's too much throwing?
I think that might be a little bit too much throwing because at the end of the day, this is playoffs, and I doubt Orglis wants to put themselves into a compromising position, even though they are feeling quite confident with themselves at this moment. I think they're going to try to just end this as quickly as possible and head on home and start prepping away for those harder teams that they're going to play in the semifinals if they are able to continue this dominating performance that they are putting on for all of you guys sitting at home to watch.
Yeah, they are really putting on a show. So they, like you said, I think they've got now 9 rounds in a row. They won 1, lost 1, and
left.
have not lost a round since. I don't think we'll see 7
remaining.
round. You might be wrong.
Yeah, that's a little bit of Caster's curse for you. As soon as you talk about something, it just goes the complete opposite way. And we're going to see Boomski putting a punch hole, but deciding that it wasn't in the right location, as the Caviera will just fall back into sight. Probably going to go roam in another area as he does fly up blue, using the silent step and trying to get an interrogation as he will down the Twitch, but opt to just catch it with a Pokeball as Hypers falls once again on the entry, not being able to pick up one as Cabal picks up a second one onto Ray Villos, doing some work with that MP5 on the Rook here, using that ACOG, but JD is going to finally take out Boomski, and the Caviera will be gone, and that's no interrogations for all of you guys. Unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely pretty unfortunate there, but still it is, wow, being swung back in favor of both Devils and JD not wanting to lose this one is sneaky forward. No, JD just saw the head of the Kai, but he's not going to hit it. Now he will. A triple kill for the Valkyrie, or the, wow, I don't know why I almost said Valkyrie, because that's not even close to the operator. That's Zofia there. Devil's on his lonesome now against Pyrex here, the seemingly like the only one of Orglis not trolling around, as he's gonna wide peek, and it is Hypers joking around, calling out where Devils is, as he seems to be having fun with it. I don't know if the rest of Hostile Actions is, as there's bound to be something being called out that Devil should just sledge open. Oh, the ancient call of Geisha, but no, it's Devils shutting out Hypers. Orglis falls. The streak is stopped at 9. Whatever. I'm looking at the chat. I read Hypers. It is Pyrex that fell, but 6 more rounds, says Hostile Actions. They can do it.
Yeah, they can do it. We've
There
seen
it is.
crazier things.
No.
You might see players such as Frosty fly a little bit too close to the sun, as the Chonka might not work the second time. The first time you bring out the Lord, you have a little bit of an element of surprise. When you flash him in that pick phase, he does lose a little bit of that edge in that element here. And Pyrex is going to go ahead and eat away that 6th pick, and to pick up the Legion, actually scratch that. He's going to take the Jaeger in lieu of the stylish man of Warden. And like we said earlier with the Caster's Curse, we're going straight to bar.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So I didn't even realize last round that Hypers brought out the French shotgun. I was completely missing that part. But you're right. Well,
Bomb located by attackers.
honestly, we may see a 4-2 split on the defense
Attackers
for the
have
wrong
located a bomb.
reasons here. I mean, we're very used to seeing 4-2 on Clubhouse, just because it's expected that you go. I mean, the anticipated idea, obviously,
10
the
seconds
assumed
left.
idea is that you win your 2 church defenses, you win your 2 CC
5
defenses,
seconds remaining.
and then you lose your gym bedroom defenses just because
Attackers
of
are
that,
heading out
or
to defuse
just
a
some
bomb.
variation thereof. But yeah, well, if you came for Comp Siege tonight, you might want to come back tomorrow night, because
Changing mags!
Hyper's faking that he has walls or something, some aim. But it's Pyrex to find JD as the first frag comes out. Cabal also finds Patriots. Oh, but the Tachanka has been found out, and no, he's not going to get domed just yet. Cabal also finds Devils as, baiting out. No! Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. Hypers. Oh, Hypers. Frosty.
Unlucky. Looked like some CSGO when you're baiting out the off shot here, but Cabal has flown out of the site. He'll take out Frosty.
Yay!
And that was definitely the cold shoulder from Cabal going onto his own teammate. But the peeks from behind the clash are going to be too much for Ray Villo to overcome. And I believe that is the first time I've ever seen a successful bar defense in comp.
Yeah, I've never seen that one as well, Cabal picks up a 4K, and I want to say, I mean, can we even argue that it was 5? Because
we could argue it's an ace. We could say it's an ace. Maybe that's why he did it. That makes so much more sense.
Oh, you're right. It was definitely the all right, yeah. That was an ace coming out. So we've got now a Cali being shown by Devils. He's jumping on in to the fun now. The rest of his team seems a bit iffy on it, but a minus Hypers, obviously. Hypers has just been playing shotguns around. I think he's pulled out the boss G once again. He has indeed. As we're going to see our first Cali of the matchup, as well as a Frost from Frosty. Nice little play on his name there.
Yeah, he's going to be utilizing that little bit of wordplay in hopefully a lethal fashion if he's able to get one of those Frost Trap kills. It's one of those things that you don't see very often, but that's why traps sort of work in the higher elo, as we are in some high-level competitive Siege. At the end of a round, when you're trying to push into sight, you're going to be more worried about players sitting in corners as opposed to jumping in a window and having a bear trap wrap around your foot, instantly putting you into that down but not out stage. And if Frosty is able to not get droned out, it's going to be something completely unexpected to hostile actions and could definitely prove to be a fatal mistake or misdrone.
Yeah, I think for sure Frosty is just trying to play in right now on the on just any rush that hostile actions may want to try here. But well, it is still a gunplay disparity, trolling or not having fun or not. It's hostile actions, or rather Orglis picking up yet another opening frag. Patriots falling to Boomski. And this is just still looking so rough, but it's, well, JD's in sight and he dies. Oh, it's
and that's the Super 90. That's the Sniper 90. Looking back to some OGC, just Frosty is confused on that here, but Ray Villos is going to pick up a kill onto Cabal, taking out that Alibi who's caused so much damage to the hostile action attackers here. And I just thought of maybe we're going to see a really interesting interaction that we don't see very often, as you have a Clash and a Cali on the same time. You could see that gigantic sniper rifle act in a very similar fashion to a lifeline pellet here, as one player gets picked up, or actually it's just a down but not out, but Pyrex is going to save the life of his teammate and take out Hypers as well as take out another player, and Boomski takes out Frosty this time, as the castle is feeling really good. And we're going to see Devils phase up right here, trying to get a 360 no-scope through the hatch. And right here, he could have shot away the shield of the Cali, but he decided not to, and he's going to try to take out the castle. We'll finish it off with a knife. Keep on quick-scoping here, looking like Call of Duty, continuing on his reign of terror, as the rotate hole has now been reinforced. And that's what the Frost, I believe, died trying to do. But his actions did bear fruit here, as the ADS now dies at the cold steel of Devils, as well as the pellet of the sniper rifle going here, as the shield gets shot off to the side by the Cali. But it's going to be a very difficult situation for this sniper to take out two players at once, as now the Jaeger does go behind, but he gets drop shotted by Devils using that CZ, and it's all up to Baka versus Devil, and it's that interaction we talked about.
Oh, this could be bad for Baka, as the diffuser has been boarded off. You're right, there is the interaction a good bit, but he's being slowed. Oh, this could be so rough here. Devils is going to have to quick push. Baka, he doesn't even have diffuser.
5 seconds
As,
remaining.
oh no, Devils is gonna be shocked to death. Nope, he's not even gonna get the chance.
Operators,
Orglis
you are
wins
out
their
of time.
5th round. It is 5-1. Nice tries all come out. Seems like both sides are having fun with this at this point. Hostile Actions probably just have accepted their defeat at this point, but this is rough.
Oh, I was thinking we were going to see a double shield rush coming out of the Blitz and Monty combination. However, Frosty's going to tie his hand at phasing up as the Cali will be brought on the side of Orglis for the first time. Now Hyper says it's time. Maybe saying he's going to spawn peek and he's going to try to bring back some momentum here. Trying to pad his stats just a little bit, trying to pick off ahead of any of these unsuspecting attackers. However, if he does go into Cabal, that's going to be an elite
Attackers need to
Blackbeard.
locate and
And with
defuse
that
as many
face
bombs
shield,
as they
could
can.
be very hard to kill if you are not fully accurate here on your shots.
Yeah, off stream in chat, Hypers was complaining that our observer, a great observer tonight, Ocho was not catching his spawn peaks. I don't know if you can see that actually away up on the north side. Everyone is playing like a train of drones is coming through. Everyone is moving as a unit.
10
Oh,
seconds
here
left
comes
before
Boomski
insertion.
to add on to the trail. He's going to come in last, you're right. Oh, they are just...
5 seconds
I don't know
left
if they're
before
drone
insertion.
racing or if they're all, like, just moving together. JD's also
Attackers
looking
are
for a
moving
spawn
out to
peek.
locate a bomb and
All
defuse
right.
it.
Ocho's not going to miss this one. Oh, he is just hitting 360s left and right. Here comes Hypers. Oh, there's another.
I think they're still
Yeah.
racing.
They're still they're still drone racing. No, that's so sad for Hypers. Tell him to run out. Tell him to run out. Ocho. Oh, so first we've got Baka in first, racing up the main stairs. Baka no is gonna fall out of first place because here comes Patriots. Patriots is gonna start to kill all the drones. Oh, that's so sad. The drone race is over. Hypers has not found any frags because of it, and I'm sorry I missed out on the action because I was so focused on Hypers wanting to get a spawn peek that I didn't commentate the drone action.
Yeah, the drone action is what everybody's here for, right? I think that's why everybody's here, but Cabal's going to get taken out at the hands of Hypers as he finally does get the pick, and that's a beautiful headshot onto the Blackbeard, as that face shield won't protect you from as many bullets as Hypers put down range right into his skull. We're going to see the Cali Thermite combination come out as that Lance is going to break away any of those bandit batteries that are there, and Pyrex is going to get a kill onto Patriots, evening up the scoreline at 4-4. However, as Boomski's going to try to push his way into Garage, there's going to be a cab right here, getting the interrogation out, and that's going to be everybody on the board for Orglis being pinged out constantly, as everybody's location is now broadcasted to every hostile action defender.
Nice Intero coming out. That is kind of huge and very funny, but, well, it didn't really do much, as now Frosty has taken up a nice position back on the rafter, and the spawn rafters, actually, as he's looking... Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh,
Me and you
no.
both thought the same thing.
I thought Hypers swung out and
Yep.
just annihilated him, but you're right. It is Pyrex finding Frosty as a nice shot. Oh,
I really thought Hypers just kicked it into overdrive and
Oh, Pyrex
absolutely
downed himself.
slammed the Cali. But Frosty picked up the kill, and Pyrex is only on about, or Pyrex picked up the kill. He's only about on 1 HP, but Hyper's gonna give him a little tap action to the side and end this round and take another round onto the side of hostile action as he gets a little 360 bolo tap here. It might go into his highlight reel.
this is man. Well, this is a game for sure. That's about all I've got really at this point. This is a game of Siege being played for a playoff spot. So, man, this is wild so far.
But it's going to be a very similar lineup coming out of the Orgless side, as the Monty's going to be brought once again by Baka, who, from what I've heard, is a very strong shield main, and maybe
Attackers need to
Orgless is
locate
going to
and defuse
decide
the
to
bomb.
end this instead of playing with their food. They want to just get on home. They look to be a little bit more serious on this side. However, seeing JD on the Caviera once again, he is the top frag coming out of the hostile action side, and he did pick up the interrogation last round, which was definitely a hype moment for them, as well as its ability to completely stall out the Orgless attack and force all of them back. Here, it does seem as if Orgless might drone race once again, but if Frosty's in there, he's going to be at a definite disadvantage with how slow those
10
Twitch
seconds left
drones
before
move.
insertion. 5 seconds left before
So the
insertion.
Cav is stuck. Hypers is looking for another
Attackers
spawn
must
peek. He's
locate
going
and
to go out
defuse
the
the
main
bomb.
door this time. Get very aggressive on it. More 360s hurting my head. And oh, there it is! Cabal is the one to fall. Hypers is nutty as the Ash is felled. And, wow. Nice shot from him. And, he'll see if he can get aggressive on anything else. JD's also trying to get a little bit aggressive. He's running around as, oh, right back at least. Frosty picks one up. And, oh, the Cav is going to be felled as well. JD goes down to a quick ADS from Frosty. Nice job on his part, as he has brought things right back in favor of Orgless. As I think you're right, it does seem like they are
Attackers have located a bomb.
trying to get this one over with, not having as much fun anymore. So, oh, that's unlucky for Patriots. He set off the shield in his face. Boomski's picked up 2 here. Yeah, it is just up to Ray. He's not going to find anything, not even any damage. He's got one pushing from main, one under the hatch, and no C4 detonation. Frosty for 3, 2 from the Hibana, and that is hostile actions going down 6-2. Map point here for Orgless.
Yeah, if you're in the shoes of Ray right there, you must have felt like the whole weight of the world was coming down on his shoulders, as there was a player in front of him, to the side of him, 2 more coming down dirt, and I believe just a Monty about to push him as quickly as possible. That's not a very advantageous position for him to be in, and at this point, he's just going to say screw it and pick up the Lord, as the Tachanka will get flashed in the pick phase here. Maybe going to try here, as JD has already went ahead and dropped a good luck against Imperium next, or tomorrow actually. That will be that matchup if the scoreline is to hold. And with Orgless already being on match point with 4-round lead,
Attackers
they
need to
have
locate and
to
defuse as many bombs as they
sort
can.
of continue on in their ways.
All right, so we're gonna see how the rest of this round is gonna work out. Hypers is running the smoke FMG9. I think looking for a peek potentially again. As yeah, once again we've got Bar. So I guess if you've never seen Bar stock held, well, now you've seen it twice, and this is 2 more times of Bar stock than I've casted
5
before.
seconds left.
And
They're
he
defining
is-
a new meta.
Attackers are heading
New
out
meta.
to
He
defuse
is
a bomb.
peeking with the
Defender is
FMG9.
approaching a kill zone.
He is ready to go with this one. Oh, he just sees the head. He just saw the head peeking up. Hypers is looking for more, but he can't find it. As, yeah, he's going to fall back, get healed up by JD, and try and look for even more now. The Ash pushing forward, not going to find Cabal, as now Hypers is falling back.
So some more drone work coming out of Orgless, as they are going to make sure that they're pushing in a safe location. Pyrex is going to pick up the kill onto JD and make sure that that healing factor of the Doc is not utilized anymore. He did only have 1 stim shot, as Hypers picked up 2 of them as the healing, but now Boomski's going to take out Devils, and Cabal's going to fall Ray Villo, leaving it all up to Hypers and Patriots. 2 operators here, the Smoke and the Jaeger, possibly have a good amount of clutch potential, but the Smoke on the FMG9 is not going to matter that it's a weak gun, as Pyrex will fall here. Frosty's going to take out Cabal, on the turret that has been left unattended, and it's all left up to Hypers in a post-plant situation. And actually, Hypers and Patriots both here. He's going to try to smoke away this Monty that's blocking his path. Patriots is also not in a great position, actually runs right by, Boomski runs right by the Jaeger, who's just holding in lounge, possibly trying to be a little sneaky action, using some trigger discipline here as Revelo's egging his teammate on to get the knife kill, but the turret's going to come out as Baka knifes away Hypers and knocks out hostile actions of the playoffs and clinches the best of 3 series.
Yeah. So it is a 7-1, 7-2 here from Orglis. They are going to move on and face Imperium tomorrow night. A very sound victory for them. 10-10 from Pyrex and Cabal, leading their team again with Boomski, this time alongside Frosty now up further on the board. So a good job from Orglis, basically just making that look easy, really. They just didn't do anything too hard. Yeah, I mean, that was just, especially after the way Villa played out, that was just Orglis cleaning it up.
It was nice to see them have fun with the game. However, the competitive integrity might not have been on the highest of levels. It definitely was fun to cast and watch, as they did put on a show of some things you don't necessarily see in the competitive Siege scene very much. You saw Tachanka spawn peak. You saw like a lot of team kills, not just a few, a lot of team kills, you have to say, and they weren't necessarily accidental on the side of Orglis, as well as bar defense on Clubhouse being brought by both teams. Maybe they're trying to define a new meta, or maybe they were just trolling a bit.
Yeah, well, I think by the nature of the game, it definitely was them showing some pocket strats that will probably be seen from Pro League teams. But seriously, yeah, I mean, it is nice that they were having fun with it, but still, in the end, just solid win. We are going to be pulling up an interview as well. We're going to be getting, not sure who in here, I think Baka. So we will be jumping over in a second for that one. So we'll have to switch some calls around stuff really fast, but we'll be jumping over to pull him on in.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We've gotten our quick break out of the way, and we're going to be going right on into an interview. We're going to be able to actually have somebody named Baka on the side of Orglis here. We're going to be able to pick his brain.
Well,
Welp, and it's scuffed again. Wow. Welp, this was very unfortunate. No,
oh
well,
man.
I see half of Cherish's head on my. Oh man.
Oh,
And I am Baka. Oh. Well,
well,
you know.
hey, it's whatever works. It's all good.
Mm,
Um, yeah, we just ah, that sucks.
Well,
Oh well.
yeah, that's unfortunate, but
Yeah. Big
I
congrats to Orglis. Tune in tomorrow. We've got the semifinals now. We've got Ancients Academy and Seven Kings starting off at 6 p.m. Central. And now, as we saw, decided Imperium and Hostile, or rather Orglis, my bad, jumping on in to the second semifinal at 8:30. So tune in for those, like I said earlier, for the finals getting prepped for June 3rd at 6 Central. We'll see which of these four teams are going to square off for the top spot in ESA's rival series.
yeah, so I've been CDAPS joined by Cherish.
Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, good night and stay safe, everyone.